Hi, I'm Dr. Gayana S, Consultant, Nuclear Medicine and PET-CT at Fortis Hospital, Bannerghatta Road, Bangalore. Today I'm going to speak about what is FDG PET-CT, what are the preparations for PET-CT, what are the indications for PET-CT in oncology, and what are the contraindications. What is a PET-CT scan? A PET-CT scan is positron emission tomography with computed tomography. Here we are going to acquire whole body images of the patient. Along with taking whole body CT scan, we are also getting a PET image, that is positron emission tomography image, by injecting a small amount of radiopharmaceutical. In FDG PET-CT, it is going to be fluoride labeled FDG. So it will go and accumulate in the body where the cancer cells are present and give us the idea about the activity of these cancer cells. By this, we will not only know about where the primary cancer cells are present, but we will also know where these cancer cells have spread. What are the preparations for PET-CT? Since for FDG PET-CT, we are injecting radioactive glucose, any glucose in the patient's body will interfere with the absorption of the radioactive glucose. So, we ask the patient to come fasting. We prefer overnight fasting. However, at least 6 hours of fasting is preferred. Patient cannot have tea or coffee before coming for the scan, but plain water is allowed. There is no restriction for plain water. And if a patient is diabetic, then patient is not supposed to have anti-diabetic medication, that is either tablets or insulin on the day of scan. When the patient is coming for PET-CT scan, we want blood glucose levels ideally to be below 200 milligram per deciliter. And we want the patient to carry all the relevant reports with them, that is all the previous investigations they have undergone, for example the biopsy report, or if they have undergone any previous CT, or if it is a follow-up patient, then to carry the previous PET-CT, not only the films but also the CDs, so that it will help us for better comparison of the images. During PET-CT study, we are going to inject IV contrast. To give IV contrast, the kidney function of the patient should be optimal. That is why we ask for serum creatinine reports. So, it is mandatory for a patient to get serum creatinine report before coming for PET-CT. How is PET-CT done? For that, I will walk you around our department to show the procedure. As soon as a patient comes, we are going to take brief history. After that, we are going to fix IV cannula. This is the only painful part for the patient. Once IV cannula is fixed, we will take the patient to injection room. This is our hot lab where radiopharmaceuticals are stored. And we are going to inject a small amount of radiopharmaceutical through this window. After injection, patient will be made to sit in waiting area for a duration of around 40 to 60 minutes. During this period, the radioactive material which we have given will be taken up by the cancer cells. During this period, patient needs to be calm and quiet and not to move around, because any activity will result in muscle uptake. This is our PET-CT scanner. Once the uptake interval is over, we will acquire the scan. The patient will have to lie down on the couch. First, we will be acquiring whole body CT images. During this procedure, we are going to inject IV contrast. After that, immediately following CT scan, PET images will be acquired. The total duration of scan is around 10 to 12 minutes. During the acquisition, we will be monitoring you through this window. What are the indications for PET-CT in oncology, that is in cancer? So first of all, PET-CT can be done for staging purpose. That is, when a cancer is being diagnosed, to see whether a cancer is confined to an organ, like either breast, lung, prostate, or whether it has spread to other organs like liver, bone. By this, treatment decision will be made. Or sometimes PET-CT can also be used as a diagnostic tool to identify whether the lesion which is in a patient's body is whether cancerous or not. Then PET-CT is done for response assessment. That is when a patient is undergoing either chemotherapy or radiotherapy or after surgery, to decide whether to continue on any further treatment or whether to change the ongoing treatment. PET-CT will help in the decision making. PET-CT is also done in surveillance or in follow-up setting. Is PET-CT safe in patients with renal failure? So whenever the serum creatinine is high and we cannot give IV contrast, we can still go ahead and do non-contrast PET-CT, where FDG will act as a contrast agent. And PET-CT is also not done in pregnant women and done in breastfeeding women with special instructions. What are the side effects of PET-CT? So, one thing is, if a patient is known to have contrast allergy, then we will avoid giving contrast. Otherwise, till date, no allergic reactions has been reported to any radiopharmaceuticals. And PET-CT is going to deliver a small amount of radiation, which is acceptable, as we say that benefit is more than the risk. Thank you.